And I think, everybody's seen, what he's capable of when he gets the ball in his hands. Just making guys miss, running people over, getting those extra yards. So you know that, anytime he touches the ball, he's going to try and fight for all those yards. And he's just an explosive playmaker.
Let's react to the game and look ahead. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios. Here's Greg Matzik and Gary Ellerson.
Homer, let him be. We got a show to do here. He's guzzling Mountain Dew in the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios here. You're not going to sleep tonight, man. Why would you do this to yourself? Why, Gary wants you to drink Mountain Dew? Well, do anything Mr. Gary Ellerson says. Okay, all right. Homer's Mountain Dew fueled. He is heading home here. We are in his Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Greg Matzik and Gary Ellerson with you until 8 o'clock tonight. What a satisfying win. See, our good friend Maddie Hayes, who does a lot of social media work here for Good Karma Brands and ESPN Wisconsin, she came right to my desk on Friday afternoon. She said, Greg, we need to talk about the game here. What do you think is going to happen to the game? I said, listen, the Packers are not losing this game on Sunday Night Football. They are not losing this game. Why? Why, she asked. This is because the Green Bay Packers are a better football team at it. You don't have to worry about it. Now, leave me alone. I got a lot of studying to do. Want to watch the film on just how bad the Pittsburgh Steelers are. And I came to this conclusion. They are not a bad team. If the playoffs started, they would be in the playoffs. But this is not the steel curtain. And the Packers showed that last night. A very satisfying win. Even a casual football fan watches that game last night. It's pretty entertaining. That's a fun game to watch.
Maddie Hayes didn't come to my desk.
Well, I understand.
I mean, I'm feeling left out again.
Did she text or call?
Nope. Don't hear not one word.
I'll send her your direction after the next video that we do.
Please. Are we on the air right now?
I don't think so. No, not yet.
Have we started? Did we kick Homer out? We done?
We definitely kicked Homer out.
Celsius, Mountain Dew, we're done?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I be a little petty?
Please.
I'm going to be a little petty right now. Because to me, the game was about Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you slice it up. Now, Rodgers came out and said that it wasn't a revenge game, and fine. Maybe it wasn't. But you never want to lose to the team that basically showed you the door. And maybe 2 years away kind of softened the blow a little bit with that for him. And maybe he did a darkness retreat and found some sort of spiritual guidance through all of this. Do you go see your psychiatrist, or do you?
I usually just rely on you.
Do you do? Because I go once a week, whether I need it or not, I go. And I'm thinking that's what Rodgers did to this leading up to the game. Although I think he does a darkness retreat where I don't really get into that kind of stuff and all the other kind of stuff that they do. But for Brian Gutekunst, for Jordan Love, for the Packers organization, to me, it was more like the passing of the torch, so to speak. I don't necessarily think it's exercise demons, but just to put the past behind and move on. And I think it's more so for you people, you Packer fans. Are you Packer fans who thought that they did wrong by Rodgers by drafting a quarterback when everybody thought they needed another piece to get to the Super Bowl instead of looking forward to today? I think you can breathe a little easier now, knowing that the Packers are in great hands. Now, I'm not saying Jordan Love is equivalent to Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers, but what I am saying is I think what we found out, what we continue to find out, that this organization is ready to move forward with Jordan Love and also bring along all the Packer fans who didn't like that particular move.
Well, how are you being petty? I haven't found anything petty about what you just said.
Because a lot of people think that's petty. Because in my social network, that's Twitter, someone's texting me, "Hey, Gary, the pass that Jordan Love threw to Watson over the middle and the pass that he threw to Tucker Kraft, is that luck or skill?" What? Did you get that same text?
I didn't get that one. I didn't get that one. And it wasn't me who sent it to you either.
do you mean, is that luck or skill? Did we ever question when Rodgers made great throws? Did we ever question when Brett Favre made great throws? Those are great throws. The Christian Watson throw across the middle was just unbelievable, to where he put that ball. And it was a no, 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 yes, yes, yes. No, 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 you never roll to your right and throw back to your left. Yes, 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 up and over the safety's hand and right into Christian Watson. The pass to Tucker Kraft over on the right sideline there. I know who that guy is, Tucker Kraft. I know he's 101. I know he'll come and catch the ball. You got to take those kind of chances. That's like Greg Matzik coming in to work. I trust Greg. I know what he can do. I know I don't have to be in the set right away or in my seat right away, because I know he's good enough. Boom, get it on the right rails. And then he throws me the assist. I know how that works. Not afraid. Trust him. And I think that's what you saw a lot out of Jordan Love. Completed 20 passes in a row, folks, in the second half, and tied a record by Brett Favre. To me, that's absolutely incredible.
When they needed it most. I mean, it wasn't like he connected on his first 20, which would have also been incredibly impressive. Yeah, but he started that stretch when the Packers were not leading, right? I mean, they were the game was still very much in question at that time. So, to me, what have we talked about so far this year at points? Packers got off to a fast start. They allowed a team to get back into it, and the final score looked a little closer than the game actually was, which led us to believe, okay, this team starts fast, but what happens when they have to come back? Well, now they've done it in 2 consecutive games, coming back against Arizona on the road and doing the same here in Pittsburgh against a team that has designs of winning the AFC North. They are a flawed team. I would argue the Packers have some flaws as well, which we'll talk about.
Absolutely.
But nonetheless, they finished. They finished that game. They got ahead of Pittsburgh and kept right on going, and Jordan Love was one of the key reasons why. So put it all together here. Put Jordan Love's day into perspective. 360-plus yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers, no sacks. And according to ESPN Next Gen Stat Info, no other quarterback in NFL history has done all of that in the same game. He avoided the rush. He avoided the costly turnover.
Right.
He was on point, delivering 20 consecutive completions in a row. Highest yardage total of the season so far. Incredible efficiency. And it was not dink and dunk.
No.
Dink and dunk was happening on the other side.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Because that's all they could do.
That was not happening with Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
Agreed.
In fact, Aaron Rodgers had this to say about Love's performance following last night's game.
I thought J-Love played great, and he was super efficient. You know, he didn't get sacked, moved around really well, made some plays outside the pocket. Thought he played outstanding.
Matt LaFleur echoed those sentiments after watching Jordan Love play for 60 minutes.
It's great for Jordan. Jordan's worked his ass off to get here. You know, he was patient throughout the process, throughout the journey, and he took advantage of the opportunity. He really did, and I thought, you know, it's been cool. I've said this many times, just to watch how he's matured as a young guy coming in here at 21 years old, and he's a grown-ass man now, and you see it, what he does, how he carries himself. He just is so confident. He's a great teammate. He encourages the other guys. He's a hell of a leader, and he's really grown as a football player. And I think that, I'm sure going into this game, I'm sure he put a lot on himself. And I thought he went out there, and he's just so consistent in who he is through the good times and the bad times. And you know, I've seen him. There's moments where you can sense the frustration from him, but he keeps going. And I kind of, to be honest with you, I kind of like it when he gets a little pissed off, because you don't see it too often.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur on Jordan Love's performance and his demeanor. I loved what he had to say about Jordan's demeanor, because you do watch him, Gary, and you don't know if it's pregame, fourth quarter. Did he just throw a pick? Did he just throw a touchdown? You have no idea. Aaron run a little hot every once in a while, right? He runs a little hot. You saw that last night, and we saw it for 18 years here in Green Bay. Jordan is so even keel. I think that plays well. Don't get too riled up. Doesn't get too down. He's about the next play.
I think what's so great about the Packers and its history, and if you look at the quarterback's history, when Aaron Rodgers was behind Brett Favre, now I'm just going to make a calculated guess, so this is not exactly true, but it's my truth, okay? When Aaron Rodgers was sitting behind Brett Favre, and they're learning stuff, and I think what Aaron Rodgers learned is that I'm not going to throw the football in harm's way. I'm not throwing the football all over the place. I'm going to take care of the football. And I knew that was a frustration for Mike Holmgren and Brett Favre, that he threw so many interceptions. I think Aaron Rodgers took away is, you know what? I'm going to take care of the football much better than Brett Favre. You get to Jordan Love, although they learn more than just that, obviously, but you get to Jordan Love, it's like, you know what? I don't need to be yelling at and cursing out my receivers or anybody else. I'm going to be, when it's my turn, I'm going to be even keel like this. Now, I don't know how he was at Utah State. This just may be who Jordan Love is. But I'm just saying, some of these traits, some of these things, that's why you have these guys sit behind these guys for 3 or 4 years to try to learn how to be great. And to take all the good stuff, take all the bad stuff, and put it through a sifter, and it comes out and you make it yours. And I think that's what you're seeing right now with Jordan Love. That pass that Jordan Love threw, I think, to Tucker Kraft with T.J. Watt coming down on him. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yes.
The sidearm? That's Aaron Rodgers. That's Aaron Rodgers' throw. But when one of his receivers drops a pass, you don't see him making no faces at nobody. So I think these guys, quarterbacks that we've had in the history, I think they take a little bit of everything from them and they put it and they make it a little bit about who they really are.
What was Lynn like? What was Lynn Dickey like when he was your quarterback?
Lynn Dickey probably was a little bit a combination of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, I think he could throw the deep ball with the best of them. His arm was just impeccable before his time. I don't think a lot of people knew how great he really was as a quarterback. But being able to move around in the locker room with everybody, right? Knew how to play spades, knew how to play dominoes. So meaning he can move in and out of different cliques. Just think, there are different cliques in the locker room that you got to be able to navigate. But as a quarterback, he was able to navigate all those things. But to get on you when he need to, but it didn't dress you down in front of everybody.
Impressive performance last night. 10 different members of the Packers offensive staff caught a football last night, and Tucker Kraft was by far the favorite target here of Jordan Love. We'll get into his night coming up a little later in the show. Little buy or sell coming up in the 7 o'clock hour. We also look ahead to the Carolina Panthers, who are somewhat surprisingly, and maybe you didn't know it, 4-4 on the season.
That is
not
surprising.
In the playoff hunt. Here we are at the halfway point of the season.
Yep.
Got a Monday night contest in Kansas City with the Chiefs taking on the Washington Commanders, and Jason Wilde joins us coming up on the other side. Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. We continue after this.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. On this show, it's always football season.
You'll feel better about what you're doing, but I thought last night was all about
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
we went and got a big-time star player. He closed up shop. Tucker Kraft has emerged and Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur, their relationship took another jump level in trust. And all of those things are beautiful if you're a Packers fan.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's a bird bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
If that is what that's going to continue to look like regarding Victor Wembanyama, the San Antonio Spurs, after night one, what he did to the Dallas Mavericks and demolishing them 125-92, then the NBA better really, really look out. 40 points, 15 rebounds, 3 block shots, and no turnovers. That hasn't been done in the NBA in 47 years. You have to go back to 1977, 1978, the last time an NBA player did what Victor Wembanyama did last night to the Dallas Mavericks. And it wasn't the fact that he put up those numbers. It was just the ease that it looked, the smoothness that it looked. A man who was completely in control of himself and putting everybody under his thumb on the opposite side. Now, yeah, it's just night one of the NBA. The NBA is a long, long season. But that doesn't mean we can't look at that and say, if that transfers and keeps extrapolating, the NBA better watch out, because there could be a new sheriff in town, and his name could be Victor Wembanyama. In 60 seconds, the Jets quarterback chatter has to stop.
8 years ago, I blew my football career.
He dropped it at the 1-yard line.
Chad Powers has arrived on Hulu.
If I can't play as Russ, I'll play as someone else.
My name's Chad. And last name?
From executive producers Eli and Peyton Manning.
Remember, you're wearing a prosthetic mask? This is acting.
And starring Glenn Powell.
He thinks you're a rubber, you tell him.
Not rubber. I'm a man made of flesh.
The Hulu original series, Chad Powers, is now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. New episodes Tuesdays.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
So you had the owner speaking on Tuesday, then the head coach speaking on Wednesday, and then the quarterback, who may or may not be the starting quarterback, had a chance to speak on all of that on Wednesday evening. Welcome to Jets quarterback chatter this week, starring owner Woody Johnson, head coach Aaron Glenn, and the erstwhile maybe not starting quarterback when it comes to Justin Fields. Now, it's up to Woody Johnson as the owner of this team to kind of set the standard of how you want information to be disseminated. But it doesn't help anybody's case if you put it out there by saying it would be nice if we have a quarterback that could complete a pass, or a head coach saying we know he's not playing well. That's been talked about ad nauseum. And then the starting quarterback, at least for now, saying, I don't pay attention to social media. He's entitled to say what he wants. None of this is helping anybody, whether you're Justin Fields or any member of that New York Jets organization. So the talking has to stop. It has to be about production. And believe me, nobody knows that more than Justin Fields. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Tell me now, do you want it?
Love with a hand signal, the pressure comes, it's picked up, Love to space, downfield for Watson! He's got it! Christian Watson, welcome back, he's got it at the 7, flag in the secondary.
Yeah, welcome back indeed. Christian Watson hauling in all 4 of his targets. 4 receptions, 85 yards, over 21 per reception. Got his hands on every ball and hauled it in yesterday's win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Come from behind win for the Packers on the road. They finished after a kind of a sluggish start, really the second and third quarter especially. Really started to gain steam in the fourth quarter, 21 fourth quarter points in earning a 35-25 win. Remarkable night for Jordan Love as well. Greg and Gary with you. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Happy to be joined by Jason Wilde. Just leaving Lambeau Field. Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin, and outstanding work on channel3000.com. Hey, Wilde.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Doing well. So you had late night leaving. I hope they fed you a little bit at Lambeau Field. What was the overall feeling in the locker room and of those you spoke with, roughly 24 hours removed from a very satisfying win?
Yeah, they did not feed me. I was in the bowl doing my TV stuff for Channel 3 in Madison, and Lord knows I'm not made for TV like Gary is, so it takes me a while to get that stuff done. Look, I thought it was really interesting that Matt LaFleur's message, and Gary would know this as well as anyone, like when your guys play well, you don't want them to get fat and happy. And so I thought it was interesting that he chose to emphasize how sloppy they were at times, because that was a word we heard down the stretch of last season when they weren't playing well. And that is not a word that you want to be hearing. And so the fact that they won 35-25, the fact that they were really good in the second half, at least in terms of results. I mean, they scored on 5 straight possessions, 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals. And then the one possession they didn't score on, they were kneeling out the clock. And so I thought it was interesting that LaFleur, who maybe was a little overtired, the plane landed about 2:30 this morning from Pittsburgh, so maybe he's a little grumpy. But I thought there were a lot of really, really good things that they did in the game, and I thought it was a little surprising that his vibe the day after was we were too sloppy.
You know, I think there's a lot of great things that happened in that ball game, but I think one thing for me that really stood out, and we're talking about the maturation of this team and how they're growing and how they're all getting better, is the Quay Walker incident with DK Metcalf. 2-3 years ago, this guy would probably retaliated or did something stupid, but we fast forward to today, nothing. No reaction, and actually the penalty, Pittsburgh, DK gets a 15-yard penalty, and it actually ends up hurting Pittsburgh. To me, I think in a small way, that's how far this team has come with guys like Quay Walker.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question, Gary. I mean, look, first of all, you're exactly right. I mean, we're talking about a guy that during his rookie season got ejected from not 1 but 2 games. And frankly, for getting into it with people that weren't playing in the game, right? The first time it was in Buffalo with a tight end who was inactive or on the practice squad, and he was just on the sideline. And then the Detroit game, last game of the season, when they obviously end up losing and missing out on the playoffs, it was with a team doctor for the Lions. So there was an issue there. There's no doubt about it. And I mean, I don't know about you. You played in an era when Ken Stills was hitting Matt Suey while they were getting on the bus. It was so late.
Pretty much,
but
yes.
If we're being honest, somebody pokes you in the eye and puts their finger through your face mask, I'm not sure there's a lot of guys that are going to take that. And Quay Walker did. So I think he deserves a ton of credit. Matt LaFleur talked about it today, about his, and like you said, maturation. I thought that was huge for him to have handled it the way he did and showed incredible growth. So, yeah, there's no doubt about it. I thought that was really meaningful, too. And that's a good sign, not just for him, but for the team as a whole.
There was a little sloppiness in the secondary. The Packers were not often penalized last night, 5 penalties, but a couple coming out of the secondary. And we had wondered, Jason, what the future for Nate Hobbs would be in Jeff Hafley's defense. Well, the immediate return is that, he ain't going to play. 1 snap played on defense as Carrington Valentine played every snap on defense opposite Keyshawn Nixon. This is still, to me, kind of an area of concern. If I'm looking at the Packers defense, I feel like the secondary can be picked on, and they are certainly buoyed to a different level with a good pass rush, which we also saw at times last night. What do you make of the secondary picture right now?
Yeah, it's a little blurry. There's no doubt about it. I mean, I think they feel really good about their 3 safeties, right? I mean, I know Xavier McKinney isn't having the same level of impact that he had last year in terms of interceptions, but I think they feel pretty good about all 3 of those guys, him, Evan Williams, and Javon Bullard. You know, at the same time, look, Hobbs was not good enough last week, and I thought it was really interesting that both the head coach and the defensive coordinator came out with such strongly worded messages of support, and then he didn't play. That was unexpected. I thought that they would be a little less adamant in their defense of him if they were benching him. Now, Matt LaFleur's argument today was that it's a competitive situation and guys are going to have to compete, and he included Keyshawn in that equation because he did not play well in the first half. He had a very rough first half, and that doesn't even include muffing the punt when he went back there to receive that. So, to me, the big picture is all those guys are not where you would hope they would be, but you also, that's not a position where you spent heavily. You obviously paid Nate Hobbs in free agency. and you extended Keyshawn's contract. But, Carrington Valentine's a 7th-round pick. They just lost Micah Robinson off the practice squad to Tennessee. Kamal Haddon is an undrafted guy or a guy that they picked up anyway who'd been released by his previous team. So, that's not a position of great depth or impressive pedigrees. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be really good players. Al Harris was a 6th-round pick when he entered the league. He became one of the best cover corners in the league. Tremont Williams was an undrafted free agent. So it's not where you start, it's where you finish. But all of those guys, Keyshawn Nixon was an undrafted free agent. They need those guys to be better than they have been in the last couple weeks. And when the pass rush gets home, they seem to be good enough. When the pass rush does not get home, that's when they get exposed.
What do you think? Because I still think special teams is a problem. You talk about the muff punt and then the missed 2 field goals. What do you think went into, okay, McManus is our guy, he's ready to go. How do you think that went down?
Well, I think, and I didn't see, I obviously wasn't in Pittsburgh, and I don't think McManus talked to any of the guys that were there. My inclination is that he went through the workout, they shut him down for the last 2 games, and then, they kind of gave him the chance to say, no, I'm good to go. And look, the problem is that, and I'm guilty of this as much as anybody, that you assume that there's something amiss beyond just, hey, he missed the kicks, right? Whether it's his leg was still sore or he didn't have the same strength because he hasn't been practicing, or there's a little bit of something in his head because of the way Havrasik kicked in his stead. But Matt LaFleur said kickers miss kicks. Now, ideally, that's all it is, right? LaFleur explained today when I asked him about McManus, he said, look, where we had put the line that we needed to get to for him to be in range for a field goal on that end of the field, that they stretched it beyond that. Like, they had him at like 54, 55. They tried a 57-yarder. It was short by a couple yards. So it would seem that maybe they were accurate in their assessment of how far away he needed to be or how close he needed to be. But bottom line, he missed that kick, but then he misses the 44-yarder. I don't have a problem with missing the 57-yarder, but the 44-yarder at the end of the first half, that to me is a greater problem. Because those have reached the point where they're basically automatic in this league now. And obviously that was not the case. He makes the 2 chip shots later, but, look, the bottom line is that this is a dude that's kicked in a Super Bowl, right? This is a dude that's been doing it for a decade plus. This is a guy that made every kick after he got here except one, and then he misses one in the playoffs. But he's also not a young guy. So I can see why, either for trade value or for just a backup plan, I can see why you'd want Lucas Havrasik around. So, the question that I have, and I'm not a sports psychologist, is does that in any way weigh on him? And he's not going to say, oh, yeah, it's totally messed me up mentally, right? He's going to say, Jason, that's a stupid question. I'm fine. But the bottom line is that I don't know, like you always know there's other guys that could replace you as a specialist. There's a bunch of guys out of work, but usually they're not in your locker room. So, again, I don't know Brandon McManus anywhere near well enough to be able to speak to whether that's in his head or if his leg is sore or he just missed the kicks. But the fact of the matter is that he did miss the kicks, and that wasn't ideal.
Well, the timing of it all is very interesting because you brought up the trade potential here with Lucas Havrasik, and the trade deadline is a week from today. So we're looking at November 4th, week from tomorrow, I should say. And we've seen more trades in the NFL recently than I ever recall the last 5 years or so. We also know that a very big trade was executed prior to the start of the year, And I'm sure Brian Gutekunst would appreciate the opportunity to recoup a draft pick somehow, some way. So is Lucas Havlicek on this roster because he is a trade chip, or because he is a great in-house backup plan in case of a recurrence of the injury to Brandon McManus? And I guess both could be true, Jason.
It could, although I would say this, Greg, like if I'm an NFL team and yes, he's 10 for 10, but if you're going to acquire him in a trade, it's probably going to be one of those 6-7 trades where we'll give you a 6th-round pick, but you're going to give us Havlicek and a 7th. So you don't even add a pick; you just move up spots from that pick. Like the Rasul Douglas trade, right? That was another example. Like they traded Rasul Douglas. They got a 3rd-round pick back, but they sent a 5th-round pick. So they moved up 60 spots. They didn't get an additional draft choice for him. They did not trade him for a 3rd-round pick, which I like Rasul, but I would have jumped at it if I was getting a 3rd-round pick for him after you plucked him off the practice squad of the Arizona Cardinals that year. So I don't know exactly what Havlicek's trade value is, but I would argue that it's probably not super high.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What do you make? We haven't talked much. What do you make of the whole Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers? I think in some ways passing of the torch. Basically, it's kind of behind us now. Maybe the Packers can move forward. But what do you make of the whole Rodgers Love kind of deal with the Steelers and the Packers?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to play each other in the Super Bowl. No. Although one of them might be there. The Steelers have a lot of holes, man. They've lost 2 in a row now, and I was underwhelmed. I thought Rodgers was fine. I thought Rodgers looked like Rodgers. They've got some limited weapons, and DK Metcalf's a knucklehead. We knew that. I thought the most important thing. Well, look, he played great. Let me be clear. That was obviously the most important thing. So the other important thing was the fact that if you listen to Micah Parsons, you listen to Tucker Kraft, you listen to Rashawn Gary, for all the stuff about, it's just another game, and Aaron and I have a great relationship. This was really important. And they already knew that they had a good quarterback, but this was like this great confirmation of, hey, he can stare down his mentor, his predecessor, a 4-time NFL MVP, and outplay him. And I think that was really important. And what I love about Jordan is that, he is not perfect, but he does not have a disingenuous bone in his body. And in his silly body, as the guys like to say. Because what I loved about him after the game, he admitted, like, he had a question about, did you feel more pressure? And the trite, lame-o, cliche answer is, no, I knew there was going to be a lot of hype, but it didn't affect me. And instead he was like, yeah, I knew there was a lot of pressure. I understood that, like, going against one of the best of all time. So I like everything about him. I think people think that I don't hold him in high regard because I do point out the mistakes that he makes. But that's another thing. Like, the interception in Cleveland, the check down when they don't have any timeouts to Emmanuel Wilson in Dallas. What's great about what he's done is the last 3 weeks, he had a clutch throw to Golden against the Bengals. He had the clutch throw to Tucker Kraft on 4th down at Arizona. And then he had a masterpiece of a performance yesterday. Like, what I want to see from my guys, whether they are, freshman JV volleyball players or NFL players, is that when they have a moment that is not their best and they make a mistake, they grow from it and become better players. And I don't know how you can look at what Love has done the last 3 weeks and not say, dude, he took that pick against the Browns. He took the way he handled the end of overtime in Dallas and made up for it and was better because of that.
Packers will try and improve on their 5-1-1 record on Sunday afternoon, a noon kick against the 4-4 Carolina Panthers. More on the Panthers coming up in the 7 o'clock hour of Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Happy to be joined by Jason Wilde each and every week here on the program. Check out Wilde and Tausch 9 to noon tomorrow on ESPN Wisconsin. Always great stuff, Wilde. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
You do the same. Going to be an interesting home contest here against Carolina. We'll dive into that matchup. Also want to dive into the night of Tucker Kraft and the return of Christian Watson. Was Kraft's night a product of Watson returning? We'll take a look after this.
Back with more on the green and gold after this on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. The 24th annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Baird Center. Green Bay Packers all-time leading receiver and Super Bowl champion Donald Driver will be the featured guest and keynote speaker. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp's STEAM-based education program to thousands of K-3 through 5th grade students and educators across Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here with some exciting news from my friends at Bank 5-9. Not only have they been named a top workplace for 16 straight years, but they've just won the prestigious Community Choice Award as the best bank in the Milwaukee area. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Not only do they have great products and services, but they truly live out their mission to make lives better. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check out the best. Visit bank59.com to learn more today. Member FDIC.
Hungry for something fresh and delicious? Get your favorites from Cousin Subs delivered straight to your door. From our freshly baked bread and hand-sliced meats and cheeses to our famous sides, crispy golden fries, Wisconsin cheese curds, or creamy mac and cheese. Every meal made to order and ready to enjoy. Ordering is quick and easy online or through the Cousins app. Whether it's a solo lunch, family dinner, or a spread for the whole crew, let us bring it straight to you, fast and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments. Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
The new Piggly Wiggly Pig Points program is here, and earning rewards just got easier. Now you'll earn 10 Pig Points for every $1 you spend, and redeem those points on your favorite products right in the store. It's simple, it's rewarding, and it's all right here at your neighborhood Piggly Wiggly. So shop more, earn more, and save more only at Piggly Wiggly. Sign up today at shopthepig.com.
Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig.
In football, what does every great team start with?
A strong defense. Same's true in business.
Defense against what?
Cyber threats. That's why companies use Trend Micro.
What do they actually protect?
Your network, your data, your people, from ransomware, phishing, and more.
So it's not just antivirus?
Not at all. Trend Micro has a full defensive playbook trusted worldwide for over 35 years.
Sounds like the kind of defense every business needs.
Exactly. Don't get blindsided. Go to trendmicro.com and see how enterprise security is done right.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
You're listening to Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Chase screaming off the edge on third down. Love hit as he throws, up for grabs. Caught! Kraft! Oh, on the run! Kraft pulling away! Still on his feet at the 30. What a run after the catch by Kraft, all the way to the 26.
Well, just destroyed the secondary of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tucker Kraft, 7 receptions, 143 yards, 128 were gained after the catch. So I went back and watched each of his 7 receptions, Gary. And I just wanted to see how his night unfolded, right? Just, put it all together, put it on repeat on my social media feed. Let's watch all of his receptions. I was amazed that 3 of his receptions were made behind the line of scrimmage. 2 were made at the line of scrimmage or maybe a yard north of the line of scrimmage, leaving 2 other receptions that were considered to be downfield. Now, the crazy throw that Jordan Love made that Kraft hauled in and ultimately became a 59-yard reception, I know it looked like that ball was in the air forever. That was only about a 15 to 18-yard pass because Jordan Love was kind of falling backwards when he let it go, and the ball just sort of hung in the air. And then his second touchdown was a pretty simple crossing pattern, and he caught the ball about 6-7 yards, 6-7, beyond the line of scrimmage. That was amazing to me, that 5 of his receptions were either a yard beyond the line of scrimmage or upwards of 3 to 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So I saw somebody had posted on social media, well, Christian Watson comes back, no big surprise that Tucker Kraft has his big day. I would argue that Tucker Kraft's having the big day regardless of who is on the field, given where he caught the majority of those passes. Doesn't matter who's on the field, you run a simple crossing pattern, right? Maybe you got a couple more eyes on Christian Watson because of his deep play ability. Maybe it pulled a safety deeper in the box or out of the box and deeper in the secondary. But he was doing everything at or behind the line of scrimmage. Those are plays you make, and the blocking's got to be there, and then you do the rest on your own, and Tucker Kraft is a madman. Now, to Christian Watson's credit, he was also an incredible blocker last night, which is not being talked about. Mm-hmm. But I think Tucker has the night he has, regardless of Watson's appearance on the field. And we can get more into Watson and how important he is, but Tucker was on a different planet last night.
And I understand what you're saying, and I disagree with you, only because the plays behind the line of scrimmage, those plays were set up basically because of run plays and things like that, and you're trying to take advantage of Pittsburgh because they're all out blitzing all the time. So they caught them in blitzes. So they're coming. So you really didn't have to push the ball down the field. The middle was wide open almost all the time because of Christian Watson when it was in the game. You got to have at least, the last pass, the one pass that Jordan Love threw to Christian Watson that was over the middle, there were 3 guys there. And the middle, in that particular play, if you go back and look at the frame, there's nobody in the middle. Middle's wide open because he's taking the top off the defense and everybody's leaning towards where he's going to go. I think Tucker Kraft still has a great day, don't get me wrong. But I still think it was made easier by the presence of Christian Watson. And you're right, no one talks about his block. I just think Christian Watson's an unsung hero. There's a lot sometimes being said by him unfairly. I think he's a great team player. The Packers exercised to give him a new contract or extend his contract when he was hurt. So that tells you how they feel about it, what he means to this offense.
Let's hear from Packers head coach Matt LaFleur. He was asked about the idea of featuring Tucker Kraft in the passing game.
You feel okay about building a passing game where your tight end is a really, really big part of it?
We'd be crazy not to. He was a beast. He was a man possessed, and you just got to find ways to get him the ball. And the first touchdown was a cold run where we spit the ball out on the run alert, and the guys, the receivers, I can't say enough about those guys, just the effort that they bring in regards to not only the pass game, which is to be expected, but in the run game, blocking for the backs or blocking for Tuck in that situation. So those guys really stepped up and did a great job.
Impressive performance by Tucker Kraft. It was on from the get-go, right? It impacted the offense in every quarter. There's discussion about the Packers not having a top-flight wide receiver, not having a true number one. That might be the case, and Matthew Golden could evolve to that at some point in his career. But keep in mind, it took Devontae Adams, 4 years to develop into that. And the receiving core was a little more polished at that time. But same with Jordy Nelson, same with Randall Cobb. It does take time in the NFL. So Golden's not it yet. They're spreading the ball out. Tucker Kraft has become and emerged as a top-flight tight end in the National Football League.
Mm-hmm. Rightly so.
He had the most targets in the final quarter in the win against Arizona, and he was the most targeted receiver last night for Jordan Love. He's more than a security blanket, right? I mean, there's more to this game than just, well, I can always rely on Tucker Kraft. Like, that's a great thing to have, but it almost diminishes how impactful he has been to the point where I'm wondering now if I'm the opposing team, I got his name right next to Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love at the top of the scouting report.
I think that they do, teams, when they come in here to try to stop us. But I think what you're going to find out with Matt LaFleur, he doesn't mind it being someone else next week, different than Tucker Kraft. He's not afraid of that. And I think they've, and this is Jordan Love, Matt LaFleur, I think they operate as if though we don't have a number one. We don't have to force feed one guy. If they take Tucker Kraft away from us, fine. Someone else is going to be open. And I think they're confident in what they're doing as far as a staff is concerned. It may be Romeo Doubs next week. And although he's been very consistent for him, too, it may be Matthew Golden. You're right, Matthew Golden, they're taking his time with him. They ease him into it. And who knows when Jaden Reed come back, what this whole thing is going to look like. I kind of like the way they operate right now. They're getting the ball to guys who they know they need to get it to, but also they don't feel the need to force feed a guy when he's in double coverage, when I got Alan Lazard running underneath wide open when I can give it to him.
So now you've got, with the return of Watson, you've got impact players at every level on the field, right? You've got Jacobs as your running back, who can certainly slide out and catch a pass. You've got plenty of guys who can work the underneath, and that's not even including Jaden Reed. He might be back around Thanksgiving.
Right.
But what does it mean now for the offense that Christian Watson is back? We saw him haul in that long one, 39 yards. The first touch was just kind of a simple out pattern. It was kind of a get in the flow of the game sort of rep is kind of how I read that. Get your hands on a ball, get pushed out of bounds, maybe fall to the ground. Just to feel like what it is to play football again. But he made a couple of other hands catches over the course of the game last night. All 4 of his targets were caught, 85 yards. What does that mean now? Just boil it down. Just his presence alone when he lines up at wide receiver. 2
things here, and I want to get to Watson. I want to ask you a quick question. Did it feel like to you, but this is what it feels like to me, over the last 6-7 games that they played? Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you.
Gary's just learned what 6-7 means, and he's just going to ride this for the rest of the year. So just for those listening at home, just be comfortable with it.
Didn't it feel like to you that Jordan Love put the team on his back?
Yes.
Okay, you guys going to take away Josh Jacobs? Fine. I'm going to go do it. Because it felt that way to me in the second half. And I think that's what you're going to have to see more of if they got 6 or 7 guys in the box, in this case 7 or 8. Is there a thing at 7 or 8?
Not
6?
yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's coming.
Well, if they got that many guys in the box, it is going to have to be about Jordan Love, right? He's going to have to put the team on his back. And therefore, he's going to have to hit the guys that are open. Christian Watson will be one of those guys. Because I was watching the game, I go, oh, my God. Early in the game, so Christian Watson, he's going to be wide open. Single coverage. They've got everybody on the line of scrimmage. He's going to run past anybody that they got. There's nobody can guard this guy one-on-one. And I think those are the things that they'll have to start taking a look at, or opposing teams start taking a look at us into who they want to take away. And I think that could be different guys each week. Most certainly Christian Watson, and I would say Matthew Golden, both of the guys are running 4.2s. There's no way that you can single coverage those guys one-on-one.
Remarkable speed. So you go back, 3-4 weeks ago, we were looking at the passing offense saying, man, just something isn't quite right there. Consistency is lacking. Teams were taking away Josh Jacobs.
Yes.
They were operating without Christian Watson. They were operating without Dontavian Wicks. They still are. They were operating without Jaden Reed. That's 3 pretty darn good receivers. So now you're left with Romeo Doubs, a rookie, an emerging tight end who is no more emerging. He is on the scene.
Right.
And then it's like, Malik Heath, right? Right. I mean, just it's not the same weaponry that you have now. And every game, Matthew Golden's going to just learn a little more and likely get a little bit more involved, perhaps, but he doesn't have to be. Now you had Jaden Reed back to the mix, and you wonder, how do you stop this, right? So I like where this is trending, but I understood why it was a little clunky a few weeks ago. Now you're starting to get more of those pieces in play, which is really important.
I think it's still going to be clunky because
How do they can do that?
I feel like they're still trying to figure it out to me. And until I see it smooth out, because right now it's got to be, Matt LaFleur right now knows that it has to be about Jordan Love. He's going to have to do it. And he's going to have to hit these guys. I think they get into a situation where they're in the first half. They get into a situation where it's going to be about Josh Jacobs, and we really can't get into a rhythm, and we're taking our time. Then we miss a couple field goals. Next thing you know, the Steelers are out on us about 10 or 12 points or something like that, and then we got to try to come back and win the game in the second half. I think the start for this team is going to be critical moving forward. When they're looking to play teams like Philadelphia, when they're looking to go to Detroit on Thanksgiving, they're going to make you pay. They're not going to kick field goals. They're going to score touchdowns. Saving grace for the Packers last night is that Pittsburgh kicked field goals when they should have been getting touchdowns.
Coming up next, a little highlight recap, some stuff you may have heard before and some stuff you may not have heard from the Packers locker room following the win over the Steelers. Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday continues after this.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
This is not your finished product, and the offense is showing signs of being the offense that you want to have, but they're way too inconsistent.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Kind of looking at this thing holistically, you're winning, you're 4-1-1, you have the best record in the NFC, and you're sitting here and you know you're not even sniffing your best ball yet.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It's a Bird Bash at Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to $50,000 cash in the Bird Bash game show. Just play with your rewards card this October for a chance to win. Wouldn't you like to rake in a huge pile of cash? Bird Bash, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info at potawatomi.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' tastes. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com to book today.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
When you're injured, you want quick, specialized care, not a long ER wait. The orthopedic care specialists at Ortho ASAP treat fractures, sprains, strains, sports injuries, and more right away. With on-site x-rays and expert care, Ortho ASAP gets you back on track faster. Open 7 days a week with locations in Brookfield and Pewaukee, it's more affordable than the ER. Walk in, get treated, and get back to life. Ortho ASAP. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
Now through Wednesday, save on 24-pack Essential Everyday Spring Water, $3.99. 15 to 150 count selected varieties Solo Cups, Plates, or Bowls, $3.99. 13 to 22 ounce selected varieties Farm Rich Appetizers, $5.49. 14 to 16 ounce selected varieties Daisy Dips, Sour Cream, or Cottage Cheese, 2 for $5.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Sentry when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, wow, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Sentry's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
Enter by November 12th.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with Accutrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use Accutrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. Accutrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
We're back with Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Field and in the locker room following last night's win in Pittsburgh. Here's a little highlight recap for you. Exactly how it sounded on the field and in the locker room following a 35-25 win.
Kraft again, taking off up the field. Tucker Kraft comes inside to the 40-yard line and down at the 39.
He was a beast. He was a man possessed.
The 16 to Kraft, the tight end with blocking. Kraft inside the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown. Tucker Kraft.
You just got to find ways to get in the ball.
Love hit as he throws up for grabs. Caught. Kraft. Oh, on the run. Kraft pulling away. Still on his feet at the 30. What a run after the catch by Kraft. All the way to the 26.
Yeah, no, I saw him. We had kind of a man beater on there, right? And I saw Tuck going to the corner, and as I was kind of throwing it, got hit. Obviously, I had no idea where the ball even went. Was hoping it, nothing bad happened, and Tuck just saw the replay. Tuck made a great play. Obviously to come back to the ball and then to get that yak, it's a big time play.
Pressure coming, picked it up inside. Kraft's got it at the 10. Kraft running away to the end zone. He has 2 touchdowns.
I just have immense gratitude for this organization. I'm spoiled as bro. Being able to come in here, get drafted here, get the opportunity to work my tail off. I love you guys. Yeah. Every play the way I do because I love you guys.
Rodgers deep drop, nothing open, he's going down. Sack Micah Parsons. Number 1 got 1.
RC had 2 sacks. Micah had a sack. Luke with the forced fumble.
Love is red hot, keeps the streak going. Christian Watson inside the 30. That is 18 consecutive completions for Love, who is having a night. Make it 19. Golden. This one's not going to gain any as he was retreating back for yardage. Brings some pressure, drops some guys out. Perfect pass Dobbs. 20 consecutive completions. Something that hasn't been done by a Green Bay quarterback since Brett Favre in 2007.
20 straight completions. That second half is who we gotta be every week, man.
Savion Williams has got it. Williams getting the blocking to the pylon. Savion in for the touchdown.
Hey, way to stay together and come ball in the second half, man. That's what we got to keep doing. Keep going 1-0 every week.
2nd and goal. Jacobs trying to bounce to the outside. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Touchdown. Green Bay takes the lead.
I've played that team for 18 years, so I Packer fans travel really well. First time in a while I've used silent count for a home game. That's a credit to those Packer fans.
Hey, every week the objective is to go 1-0, man. Let's keep chopping this shit down, bro. We got a great team. Hey, Victory Monday!
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway, and you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
When winter hits Wisconsin hard, Safe Plow hits back. Founded by two locals who know winter inside and out, Safe Plow delivers no-tolerance snow removal, meaning they're on it before, during, and after every storm for hospitals, retail centers, and all businesses that can't afford downtime. From small driveways to massive parking lots, Safe Plow's dedicated team keeps your property clear, safe, and accessible, prioritizing handicap ramps and disabled parking every time. At Safe Plow, they handle the blizzard, you handle your business. Serving Madison, Milwaukee, and all of southeastern Wisconsin. Book now at safeplow.com.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you with 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp therapists have helped more than 5 million people worldwide on their mental health journeys. Moments in therapy, like the right question, a safe space to cry, or a small win can really change lives. This World Mental Health Day, we're celebrating the therapists who have helped millions of people take a step forward. If you're ready to find the right therapist for you, BetterHelp can start that journey. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call or text pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling or texting pound 250.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Tune into the Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 12 to 2, right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The game is over.
Pressure coming. He picked it up. Inside. Kraft's got it. At the 10. Kraft running away to the end zone. He has 2 touchdowns.
And it's the day after.
Oh, that's big time. He's a big time player. And I think, everybody's seen, what he's capable of when he gets the ball in his hands. Just making guys miss, running people over, getting those extra yards. So that, anytime he touches the ball, he's going to try and fight for all those yards. And he's just an explosive playmaker.
Let's react to the game and look ahead. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios. Here's Greg Matzik and Gary Ellerson.
All right, we're going to tee up buy or sell coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But during the break, some people think that the show should be aired during the break to see what's really going on inside the studio. Not only did Gary finish his salad and steak, which looked medium rare, delicious here at Potawatomi Sportsbook, as always, but you asked me a very interesting question during the break, Gary. And you didn't really give me time to react and think about it too much. You kind of sprung it on me. Would you like to share your question with the audience?
No, you go ahead and set it up.
Okay,
yeah,
what you did, right? So you say, hey, did you see that? Did you see the jersey swap thing? Did you see that? Hey, what are you talking about? Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers had a moment on the field following last night's game. It always happens. Quarterback sees the quarterback, coach sees the coach, usually, and then you kind of go to your separate locker rooms. Love and Rodgers had their meeting, and it was sincere. It appeared to be anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And then as they were about to separate, Jordan said to Aaron Rodgers, I need that too. Talking about Aaron Rodgers' jersey, like they're going to do a jersey swap, which has become, I don't know, in the last 7 or 8 years, a very common thing in the NFL and in other sports. Although I don't think they do it in baseball or hockey, but that's another story for another time. And Aaron said, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. Okay, all good. So, Gary, you asked me the question, had the Steelers won the game, had the Steelers won that game last night, do you think the jersey swap would have happened on the field at the stadium in Pittsburgh? Now, why would you ask me a question like that?
Well, because if we just back it up, Rodgers had already said he was going to get. He had already, because a lot of other guys in the locker room wanted the jersey. So Rodgers had already said, if anybody's going to get this jersey, I'm going to give it to Jordan Love. So obviously they had already talked about doing the jersey swap.
Yeah.
But it didn't take place.
So what's the normal protocol? Does it have to happen on the field? Do I need to see it happen?
It doesn't have to happen on the field, not necessarily. But I would say 80% of the time it does happen on the field. Now,
so
have I ever seen Rodgers do a jersey swap on the field? No, I have not. I know he have done some, but I don't think I've ever seen him do it on the field. But here's my take on all of this. And once again, I don't know if I'm being petty or not. But here's my take. Maddie, are you taping this? Huh? Am I going? Okay, good. Because here's my take. And I don't care where it goes. It could go everywhere. Here's what I feel about it. If Aaron Rodgers had won that game last night, I think he does the jersey swap right then and there on the field. But with all the go Pack go in the background, Rodgers goes, you know what? I'll send it to you. I got to get the hell out of here. This is just a little bit too much.
So you think Aaron was so caught up in everything happening around him?
He just didn't want to be. He didn't want to be there anymore.
Just give me in the locker room. Right. Let's be done with this night.
Yeah,
it didn't go my way.
Yeah, because Jordan Love had to ask him basically for it. Jordan Love thought maybe it wasn't going to happen, so Love goes, "What did he say? Let me get that. I need to get that." As they were walking away. So he had to remind him. Rodgers was ready to get the hell out of there. I think if they win, Pittsburgh, that we're doing a jersey swap right then and there on the field.
So the way
I'm just saying.
The way that Jordan said it, though, the way that Jordan said it to Aaron was, hey, I need that too.
Yeah.
As they were sort of separating. Right?
Yeah.
So don't you think if Jordan Love would have said, hey, let's do this real quick, don't you think Aaron would have been like, yeah, okay, gotcha. Do you think Aaron would have said, no, I'll send it to you? Because it looked like they were kind of separating, and it was the final thing that Jordan Love said. Hey, I need that too. As Rodgers was sort of peeling out of the conversation, and as Jordan was sort of peeling out of the conversation, it was the last thing he said.
When you work with people for a long time, you kind of know who they are. And he knew what that meant. He knew when he didn't automatically offered it up right then and there with the hug, and then he had to go mention it. He knew where this was going, that it wasn't going to happen right there. And then Rodgers goes, I'll send it to you. And all you hear is go Pack go.
So what's the difference? If he gets the jersey, he gets the jersey.
It's more of the photo op, so to speak, of it all, the picture taken. So you have the picture on the field that goes with the jersey that's hanging up in your rec room.
So two guys are standing there.
And you're holding both jerseys.
Grown men, mind you, holding up each other's jersey.
Photo op.
Right?
Right.
The photo op of them talking together on the field holding after the game, nice embrace, that's not good enough?
Yeah, and then that picture goes inside with the jerseys. That's how it's normally done.
Okay.
But Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. And I think Jordan Love picked up on that and knew it and just kind of go, okay, that's fine. I wish we had some phone callers on this.
I
this
can't
would be great.
Disagree with you entirely on it.
Tweet this and so people could know that
we will.
we're out.
Look,
I mean, do you agree or disagree with me?
Listen, Maddie's going to post this.
Do you agree or disagree?
Post it.
I need for you to take a stand.
I understand why you ask the question, but I can't say definitively that Rodgers would have been. He might have been in a different mental state, having won a game against the only team he had not beat. That would have made him, happier than a guy who had just lost a game. And keep in mind, this is just minutes after losing a game. This team's trying to hang on to first place. Rodgers all about his legacy. Well, beating every team in the NFL adds to legacy.
See?
I get it. I get why you asked the question.
I got to go.
But I believe that if Jordan Love would have said, hey, let's do this real quick, jerseys would have been exchanged. The way that it was asked, and maybe it's Jordan knowing Aaron too.
It's Jordan
just
knowing
Aaron. You're not going to really love this idea, but I got to ask him. I just want that thing in time. All good. You're still my guy. I don't need it now, but I do understand why you ask the question, but I can't say definitively whether that was in Aaron's mind. I can't.
Well, of course we can't
What
say.
I know of Aaron, I get it. Hyper-competitive.
Well, it's speculation on my part. Obviously, that's what it is.
See, that's what that's what this show is all about. Reckless speculation.
It's speculation.
That's what I like about radio.
Part. And if you don't like, here's the deal. And if you don't like, Aaron Rodgers, then I guess you come up with those kind of things. But that could be far from the truth for me. I feel like Rodgers, once again, is petty that way. It wasn't going his way. The game didn't end the way he wanted to end. So he did the congratulatory, how you pronounce it?
Congratulatory.
That too. Pronounce it again.
Congratulatory.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go to UW Oshkosh. You know how to pronounce those things. They come from a great family background. Anywho, that's what happens at the end of the game when you know who the guy is that you've been with for 3. You don't press it. Because he's a Hall of Famer, first ballot. So you can't just go bum rush him. There's some, I'm going to use a big word for you. You ready for this?
Congratulatory.
Decorum.
Okay.
Ooh. So there's a code of decorum here that you have to go through when you're addressing a guy like Aaron Rodgers.
Didn't you grow up in Decorum, Georgia?
No, I grew up in Albany, Georgia.
Oh. Was that near Decorum?
Decatur.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's where Cam Newton's from, Decatur, where everything is greater.
Okay.
In Decatur.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Maddie's going to clip this thing, and it's going to go up all. Yeah, there's going to be 1,000 comments on this, by the way. I just kind of have that feeling about this particular one. All right. Good work, everybody. That'll be up online in about 6-7 minutes. Coming up next, we're going to do a little buy or sell here. Also, the potential for Jair Alexander to be released by the Ravens.
Don't do this.
Are you paying attention to what's happening in Baltimore?
Don't.
Woo!
Are you going to ask me that question?
I might.
Is that on there?
You're going to have to stick with us. Stay with us here.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi Sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Josh DiMaggio and Ben Brust.
Breezy Ben Brust. Just whichever way the wind's blowing. I have bad posture. I don't have a great backbone, Joshy.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucks game.
In 6 minutes, no more?
No less. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus audio network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Milwaukee, it's officially time for October baseball. The energy is electric, the city is buzzing, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Carbless. Carbless is the ready-to-drink cocktail that keeps fans cheering. No sugar, full of flavor, and always refreshingly delicious. Whether you're tailgating outside the stadium, celebrating downtown, or gathering with friends at home, Carbless is your go-to for every big hit, every clutch play, and every Brewers moment. So crack open a Carbless, raise it high, and toast to October baseball in Milwaukee, because nothing goes better with the big stage in baseball than finding your bliss. Visit drinkcarbless.com and see where Carbless is located nearest to you.
Hi, it's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch, inviting you to join me July 5th on a journey through the lovely landscapes of England, Scotland, and Wales with Colette. Take in the charm of the countryside and the history of the great cities. Imagine standing before Big Ben in London, then later gazing out from Edinburgh Castle. So rich in history, it feels like you're stepping back in time. Along the way, we'll explore the storybook villages of Chester and Shakespeare's Stratford-upon-Avon, places where every street seems to whisper a piece of history. And how about a scenic train ride through the rolling green hills that lead us right into the medieval city of York? It's all part of this incredible journey. From iconic landmarks to cozy villages, from bustling city streets to peaceful countryside views, you'll experience the very best of Britain's history, culture, and beauty, and create memories that last a lifetime. Text TRAVEL to 800-990-3776 for full details. To learn more about this amazing adventure, come to the meet and greet on Tuesday, November 4th at 6 p.m. at Buck and Honey's Monona. If you can't make it, visit ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com to learn how you can join virtually.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. So the big, beautiful bill is now law. How does the new law affect individuals? For starters, the current tax rates topping out at 37% are made permanent. Taxpayers age 65 or older get an extra $6,000 deduction, but with a phase-out. Social Security is still taxable as it has been. You heard me. Social Security is still taxable, depending on your income. Individuals may deduct up to $25,000 in qualified tip income. Up to $12,500 of the premium for overtime pay is deductible. Of course, there are restrictions. You earned it, we help you keep it. Call 414-325-2040 now to set up a meeting to see how you are affected by these and other provisions of the new law. Don't be surprised on April 15th. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Homer here from ESPN Milwaukee. What makes living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Dave.
The campus is beautiful. For me, nature is my church, and I love being outside. We live by the Bark River, and it's calming. It just calms my soul. I just love it. A lot of the people, I'm talking about 100-year-old people, 90 years old, say they credit Three Pillars with living longer.
This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Huh?
Well, look, I was listen. Cowboy. Okay.
Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday continues. Greg Matzke and Gary Elderson with you until 8 o'clock tonight. Monday Night Football just getting underway here. The 3-4 Washington Commanders taking on the 4-3 and surging Kansas City Chiefs.
Surging.
Like, it feels like all the games are in Kansas City.
It does.
I have that wrong.
Yeah, no, it does feel like it.
Are they the only team in the league that doesn't play any road games?
Well, I mean...
Well, they don't play any road games, do they?
You got the All-American boy with the All-American girl. Come on, man.
Fair enough. Hey, there's only one sports book in the Midwest that you can call the greatest. It is Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's where we broadcast each and every week. Catch all the games, early matches, by the way, if you're into that kind of stuff, right? Soccer coming on early in the morning. You can be here at Potawatomi Sportsbook. The game will be on. The games, plural, will be on the 2,000-square-foot video wall. Food coming out of the kitchen, great drinks as well. VIP deck for a more intimate gathering. Really no place like it. There is no better place in the state to watch sports than Potawatomi Sportsbook. Greg and Gary with you till 8 o'clock. Should we do this next thing, Gary?
Did you like that bumper music that just came out?
Yeah, I did. Tears for Fears. That was nice.
You know that?
That was classic. That's a great jam.
Okay.
Deep cut. Time to buy or sell.
The market is open, and the hot takes are trading fast. From bold predictions to brutal realities, it's time to put the takes on the table. Are you buying or are you selling? It's time to buy or sell.
All right, Gary, you know how it works here. I tee you up with a question, provocative in nature. You tell me if you're buying what I'm sending you or if you're selling what I'm putting on your lap.
I got 5 on it, Greg.
5 what?
That's the song. I got 5 on it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
6 on it. 6, 7.
All right, here we go. This is off the rails, but here we are. Brandon McManus returned to action and missed 2 field goals. One deep ball here, 57 yards. Another one certainly well within his range at 44 yards. Lucas Haversick is still on the roster. Are you buying or selling the Packers will roster 2 kickers the rest of the season?
I'm buying. You just have to. Unless because I think McManus muddied the waters, so to speak, a little bit last night. And maybe it was on Bisaccia. It was his call. But with him missing those 2 field, you can't feel comfortable about it. But then again, I feel good about McManus, who's been to a Super Bowl, who's been there, done that, did that. But although he's getting a little older, I think they messed it up in that they should have waited until he was 100%. I just don't think he was 100% healthy out there. The field was muddy, bad field. Weather was okay, but I just think the footing wasn't very good, conducive to a guy that's coming off a quad injury.
All right, so now put yourself in the mind of Brandon McManus.
Sure.
You have seen Lucas Haversick come in and make everything put in front of him, including a franchise record 61-yard field goal. If I'm Brandon McManus, don't I want to get on that field sooner than later? I don't need another week of dude hitting a 57 and a 44-yarder making all his extra points if I'm the veteran kicker on this team. As secure as you might feel, what does security really feel like in the NFL? I think Brandon McManus knew what was behind him.
Absolutely.
Wanted to get back on the field as soon as possible.
Absolutely. But that's on the coach. It could be on the coach. It could be on Russ Ball. It could be on Goody. It could be... You go to McManus and say, listen, I don't know what next year is going to bring us, but you are our kicker this year. If I'm a player, fine, I'm good, because it's year to year anyway. So that's how I have that conversation with kickers who can be a little, off-putting sometimes. So one of those guys, go to McMahon and say, good, man, you're all good this year. No matter what, you're all good. Next year, maybe a different story. But this year, you're leading us to the Super Bowl. I think that's how you calm those fears.
So is Haversick just insurance then? Why would you roster two kickers then?
Well, right now, you don't know whether he's healthy or not, or how healthy he's going to be. Have you ever pulled a quad or a hammy?
I have done both. I split my quad in half.
Oh, Jesus.
And also split my hammy in half.
That's too much.
One of the three back there.
That's too much. So
felt like I was shot. I mean, it was a rubber band snapping. That was pretty rough.
Right. So then you understand what that rehab then could be like or what it looks like. I think that was a little bit extreme.
It wasn't 3 weeks for me. That was pretty rough.
Yeah. So, and then when you come back, Greg, and especially for him, plant foot or if it's his kicking leg, you've got to be able to deal with both of those things, and it just doesn't work well from a mental standpoint.
So Lucas Haversick is still rostered right now, and maybe that was some of the reason in calculus in keeping him on the roster is that, Brandon is questionable, didn't really do much in practice, and let's just see what it's like when he'll fly with us, and then let's see what he can do. I wouldn't be surprised if he were released. If he goes to the practice squad, somebody could very easily pluck him off the practice squad. It's how Green Bay found him.
Yeah.
And if you show a propensity to make kicks, especially in some pretty significant situations, deep balls like he did, you are on the radar now for every team in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Nobody knew this guy 3 weeks ago. He ends up in Green Bay and does absolutely everything asked of him.
And if I'm Lucas, what's his?
Haversick.
Him, too. I go to him, same speech. You good for this year. We'll figure it out next year. Because you got to have those guys, whenever it's their turn, you got to have those guys in the right frame of mind to win a doggone game for you. You cannot have special teams cause you to lose a game, cause you to lose the NFC Championship game, cause you to lose the Super Bowl. You just can't do it. I mean, you can look at the game last night, and you can almost say special teams almost cost them a game. Again.
Penalties, muff punt by Keyshawn Nixon, 2 missed field goals.
Again, Greg.
There is only one kicker currently rostered that I would want kicking in a playoff game, and he's the one who has a Super Bowl ring.
Yes.
That's it.
Agreed.
Nobody.
Agreed.
Nobody. If Brandon McManus misses a field goal in the postseason, nobody's going to flip over a table and say you should have kept Lucas Haversick.
No.
If Haversick misses a field goal, that same one, people are going to be like, you trusted him?
Yeah, right.
The guy who's never kicked in a playoff game before?
And that's
what are you doing?
That's why you got to get McManus 100%, mentally and physically.
Tucker Kraft exploded for 7 receptions, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Steelers. He leads the Packers in receptions, yards, and receiving touchdowns. Are you buying or selling that Kraft should be at the top of opposing scouting reports?
Yes. Figure out how to stop.
I had a Josh Jacobs or Jordan Love.
Jordan Love is just straw that stirs the drink. Who first came up with that phrase?
They're just assumed to be at the top of the scouting report.
Do you know who came with that phrase?
Straw that stirs the drink?
Yeah.
Leroy?
No.
Okay. Forrest Gregg.
Reggie Jackson.
Oh, all right.
I'm the straw that stirs the drink here with the Yankees. Reggie Jackson once said. Look it up. No, not ahead of Jordan Love. He's ahead of the snake. You got to stop him first. But right now, Tucker Kraft, if you start looking around the league, tight ends, I think he surpassed all these dudes Kittle in front of him. Hawkinson in front of him. He's in front of all these young guys now that are up and coming. He's something to be reckoned with.
And finally, Carrington Valentine played all 57 defensive snaps at cornerback opposite Keyshawn Nixon. Nate Hobbs played just one snap on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Are you buying or selling that this will be Hobbs' only season in Green Bay?
Yeah, probably. But if you know the Packers, it always comes back. I think he's going to play again with the Packers, but I don't think you're going to see him outside. I think you're going to see him inside. But right now he's behind Bullard, and right now he's behind You're not going to bench Valentine right now, not the game that he had last night.
He signed a 4-year, $48 million contract with the Packers in the offseason, $16 million guaranteed through a signing bonus.
Right.
There's options in the later years,
Right.
making it effectively a 2-year deal with options to release the player in 27 and 28 with really no significance.
Right.
Right? So I don't think it'll be his only season in Green Bay. I think he will be back next year, and I think it's, hey, we saw something in you to bring you here. You were not what we thought you were, but we're not closing the door on how you could help us.
Well, they try to make him in something that he really
Well,
wasn't.
right. So that to me, and he is willing to take the assignment,
Yeah, oh,
right?
absolutely.
I mean, it's
You got to.
there's money here. I'll contract.
Yeah.
I got to go outside
Can you
to get
do
my
it?
money.
Yeah, you can do it.
Staying on the inside, I'm not going to get my money.
Yeah.
So he gets paid. I like how Carrington Valentine competed. He was nowhere near perfect, and cornerback is still an issue to me.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Nixon the same, competes. Nate Hobbs, I don't know if he lacks competitiveness. He's not in the position to make a play on the ball.
No, just wasn't.
So it clearly a misfit or a misguide on who this player actually is and how he could be.
Misfit on the outside, and maybe that knee is still a problem with him mentally.
Could be.
We just don't know. But I think his spot is on the inside. That's his spot.
It's another edition of Buy or Sell here on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Did you ask? Or is that another?
That was three. I got through three questions.
I thought you had I thought we was going to buy and sell that the guy from the Ravens is leaving.
I feel like we'll need more than just a couple minutes to discuss that.
You do?
We will do a look ahead at the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Surmise what we believe is real and what is not at the roughly halfway point of the NFL season. See, it's hard to do a true halfway when you got 17 weeks, but we'll do our best here.
We'll do our best.
And coming up next, is it possible the Jair Alexander era is over or ending in Baltimore? And could that mean a reunion in Green Bay? Would you even want to see it? I feel like Chris Larson needs to get a poll question together. More Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday after this.
Back with more on the green and gold after this on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Looking for green and gold tickets? Ticket King is your go-to for Green Bay football tickets. With offices in Milwaukee and Green Bay, Ticket King is your local and most trusted source to see the green and gold. Plan ahead and get your seats this season at theticketking.com. The next home game is Sunday, November 2nd, when Carolina visits Green Bay. Be there to see this matchup and find your seats at theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. Theticketking.com. It's not sold out until the King is sold out.
From the baseball playoffs to regular season football, Prize Picks is the best way to win cash watching our favorite teams. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Well, make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks now offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Join millions of users. Sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app today and use that code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code WI to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? they'll take care of it. Dented bumper, scratch paint, Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco, Fisco, Fisco.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
What does the skeleton say before dinner? A bon appetit. And why did the ghost go to the bar? For the booze. Yeah, Halloween jokes can be corny. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Since 1960, we've provided the most spooktacular selection and savings in town. From skull-shaped vodka bottles and pumpkin cream liqueurs to adult trick-or-treat bags and your favorite seasonal wines and beers. We've got the spirits to get you in the spirit. Combine our selection with everyday low prices and 2 convenient locations, and Discount Liquor is the one trick-or-treat stop you can't skip. Discount Liquor, locally owned and family operated with 2 locations, in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine. See all of our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Discount Liquor.
The wait is over. Badger Hoops tips off this month. With new faces on the roster and highly anticipated conference battles ahead, the drive for excellence never changes. From buzzer beaters to Big Ten showdowns, Wisconsin men's basketball delivers the moments you live for at the Kohl Center. Purchase your single game tickets by visiting uwbadgers.com or by calling 1-800-GO-BADGERS. That's uwbadgers.com or 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
You're listening to Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
CV got an opportunity and he went out there, and I thought he played really competitively the entire game. And I know even on the touchdown catch, I just loved how he competed for the football. I thought that was big time, and it didn't go our way in that moment, but I thought all in all, he showed physicality. He was challenging guys. There was just no gimmies. And I thought that was big time, because that's how we want to play. We may be in a 3D zone defense, but you still got to be sticky in some regards in your coverage. You can't just be giving up freebies all the way down the field. So we want those corners to challenge. And at the same time, it's going to continue to be a competitive situation, because we still have a ton of confidence in Hobbs. So all of those guys, Keyshawn, they're all going to be competing for playing time.
You think what?
All right, poll question is up at ESPN Milwaukee on our X feed. Could the Jair Alexander experiment be coming to an end in Baltimore? If so, would you want him back in Green Bay? About 20 votes in here. 90% say no, 10% say yes. Here's the genesis of the conversation.
You got 20 votes in already?
20 votes in. Been posted for just a few minutes here.
That's hot.
So here's the genesis of the conversation. It's 2 parts to this. Number one, the Packers cornerback room, to me, is not in great shape. This is my view of it all. And it's equal parts here. I don't believe in Nate Hobbs on the outside. I think Keyshawn Nixon is a fine competitor. He has turned himself into a guy who can play cornerback in the NFL. You line him up on Justin Jefferson, you're going to have some problems, right? I mean, he had all sorts of issues with DK Metcalf on a team that cannot push the ball down the field in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Carrington Valentine, God bless him, a 7th-round pick who competes and fights and will stick his nose in the middle of anything. He's an up-and-coming, and that's putting it politely, but in a playoff matchup, facing A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, right? Are these the 2 guys who are going to help stop that, right? I mean, that's the genesis of the conversation here, because I had thought in the offseason that the Packers were the release or trade of Jair Alexander away from having a complete disaster at the cornerback position. And while I would not refer to the position today as a complete disaster, I would amend that slightly and say it still ain't good. This is the weakness of the Packers defense. And I don't know how it gets any better on its own merit. Now, if you get a great pass rush, which the Packers have, it makes everything a little better, doesn't it? It really does. And in truth, it does work that way. So are these guys fallible? Yes, of course. Are they perfect? No way.
Are they what?
Fallible. Can they be beat?
Okay,
that's all I meant to say.
Okay, fine.
So now look at the Jair Alexander situation in Baltimore.
I'm trying to expand my vocabulary, that's all.
Twice. He has been a healthy scratch.
Yes.
He is also continuing to deal with that knee injury that plagued him in Green Bay. Now, we know Jair is a bit of an enigmatic fellow. And to me, he is like football's equivalent of Jimmy Butler. You know what Jimmy Butler is when he is engaged and interested in the team he's playing for? He is a nightmare. Good luck dealing with that guy because he's good. Do you know what Jimmy Butler is when he is A, either not healthy, or B, not engaged, or C, all of the above? He's just a flat-out nightmare. You don't want him on your team because he's poison. That's Jair Alexander. When he is in it to win it, that dude can play. When he is not, who knows what you're getting? 3 snaps, and I got injury, and then he's out. So there's that component of Jair Alexander. There is also the less troubling possibility that he's just flat out washed. He is just no good anymore. Flat out not good. So therein lies the 90% that say, no, I don't want him back. It's some combination of one of those two things. Maybe it's one or the other decisively. But where do you stand on the idea that Jair Alexander, that change of scenery back to his home, would actually do him a lot of good?
Right.
And therefore, the Green Bay Packers a lot of good. Are you buying any of that?
What's the question, Greg?
Would you support if Jair Alexander got released by the Ravens, signed a one-year deal in the offseason, and he ain't playing? He's got 4 tackles this year. It's possible he could be released as if the Ravens maybe try and trade him. Nobody's biting at that apple. I can guarantee it.
No.
And maybe the Packers scoop him up and say, hey, come on back. We'll see what we got here.
No, you can't bring him back in that locker room, Greg.
No, it's done.
Yeah, that ship has sailed. No, you can't. It's too much drama. I mean, we're pretty good right now in our locker room, and it hadn't been that way in a while. Doesn't it feel good? Feels good, doesn't it?
Seems like it.
Yeah,
right?
There's no real. Now I'm trying to think right now. There's no real drama, is there? Out of anybody? I don't think so. I don't think there's any real drama.
There was always something with Jair.
There was always something. I mean,
and Aaron, for that matter.
And Aaron was the other one. If you want to nitpick someone, maybe, is Keyshawn Nixon can be a little volatile at times, but nothing near Jair, right? I mean, so I don't want that locker room. Feels like it's a really good locker room. Have you been watching these speeches after the games? The one with Tucker Kraft just this past game yesterday.
You know that was
speech that dude had.
That's the backbone of that highlight reel that I created. Was taking moments out of that locker room.
You took some snippets from there.
Really impressive stuff.
If folks can go back and listen to the whole thing, that's what it's all about. That dude, tomorrow, I'm landing. I come out here and play for you guys. When I heard him speak, I went, "That's the dude." I mean, I like Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary and those guys. And then Jordan Love came up. He barely spoke like 5 words. He was like, yeah. But that Tucker Kraft, them the dudes that makes your locker room great, and them the dudes that rallies everybody. See, and Jair can't do that. He breaks apart stuff, and then now you got to go fix it. Tucker Kraft, man, I think everybody in that locker room rallies around him. I like the way that locker room's at right now. Do not bring Jair anywhere close to 1265 Lombardi Avenue.
I'll parlay the conversation to the idea of a trade. I am not inclined to believe that Brian Gutekunst will execute a trade that involves giving up more draft picks.
Oh, yeah, no.
This year, right? Because of what they paid to get Micah Parsons.
Right.
I am not shutting out of my mind the idea that there could be a player-for-player trade. These are not terribly common in the NFL. They're not very common. They do happen on occasion. They're not as common.
Okay.
But it would have to be from a position of surplus. And the only position of surplus that I see potentially developing is that wide receiver.
Okay. Nah, because them dudes are hurt all the time. No, I'm not trading any of those receivers. And that room, once again, talk about room, that's a great room. I'm not getting rid of anybody.
I believe the phrase
that's
would
a great
be
room.
Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah.
If the Packers executed something like this.
My mom used to say that all the time.
Okay.
Now I know what it means.
Don't want to do it.
Just today. Thank you for bringing it home, Craig.
Time for, pull it up, Larson, Not My Beat. Let's take a look ahead at the Carolina Panthers. What do they bring to Lambeau Field on Sunday?
When the story isn't in Green Bay, you got to go straight to the source. Each week, we check in with the people on the inside. This is Not My Beat.
Sizing up the Carolina Panthers, the next opponent here for the Green Bay Packers. Surprisingly, 4-4 on the season, right? I would not have guessed that had I not done a little research on the Carolina Panthers. Struggling with their quarterback position. Right. Andy Dalton is now playing quarterback. I don't know who's going to start on Sunday.
Right.
But they have found a couple of times something that just has clicked. Most impressive win of the season so far is over the Atlanta Falcons. And Atlanta, for what it's worth, is a very Jekyll and Hyde sort of team.
Oh, my God, are they awful. That's my home.
Well, they are at times.
Yeah, they just lost to somebody this weekend they shouldn't have lost to.
They lost to Miami.
Yeah, Miami. What the hell?
And it wasn't pretty.
No.
They lost to the Carolina Panthers 30-0 in Week 3 of the NFL season.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to our Mission Impossible music? I kind of like that, Larson.
Yeah,
anyways.
Yeah, it's okay.
So the Carolina Panthers started off losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They lost to the Arizona Cardinals. They shut out the Atlanta Falcons, lost to the Patriots, a win over Miami, a win over Dallas, a win over the New York Jets, and they got destroyed by the Buffalo Bills 40-9 over the weekend. But in games that they have won here, recently, Rico Dowdle has popped for over 200 yards on the ground.
Who's this?
Rico Dowdle, former backup running back for the Dallas Cowboys. But these running efforts were against the likes of Dallas and Miami and New York. I mean, just awful run defense, especially Miami and Dallas. So if I'm Josh Jacobs, I'm licking my chops.
Yeah.
As to what defense is coming to Lambeau Field. Mm-hmm. This has all the signs of a Josh Jacobs game against the Carolina Panthers. Mm-hmm. They cannot defend the run.
Right.
But they can run the ball.
Yeah. Here's the thing. They go play Arizona in Arizona. Pretty good football team. Packers struggle a little bit with Arizona. Pittsburgh. Pretty good football team. Packers struggle a little bit with Pittsburgh. The Carolina Panthers, don't poo-poo them. That's a pretty good team. Now, I know it's at home, noon game, but they're going to play the Packers tough. But here's the thing. The Packers, they are the better team. They have the better talent. They should win this game. But what I won't get caught up in, Greg, is style points. Just win. And if I was a Raiders fan, it would be just win, baby. But I'm not. So I think when you look at this game, you just got to go in and take care of business. I don't know if it's 1 point, 25 points. I don't care. I just need a win. This Pittsburgh game was a very emotional game on the road. You get back at 2 o'clock in the morning. Sandwiched in between big game against Philadelphia. Now, a lot of guys say they don't look ahead, they don't look ahead, they don't look ahead. But in today's society, with everything at your phone, they see it. They know that Philadelphia game is looming large on the horizon. And that's a litmus test. You can't fall against a team like the Panthers that you're supposed to be.
James Cook had 19 carries for 216 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns for the Buffalo Bills in yesterday's win over Carolina. The Carolina Panthers had 244 total yards with Andy Dalton playing quarterback.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if they're better with Bryce Young or Andy Dalton. I have no idea.
Flip a coin.
I will say this. There's a young wide receiver in Carolina. In fact, they got a couple of them. But one in particular that many Packers fans would have enjoyed the opportunity to have in Green Bay. His name is Tet McMillan, Teteroya McMillan, who's off to a decent start. I say decent because his ceiling is insanely high.
I wanted the Packers to draft him.
Very good player. Big target. You'll see him on the field in Green Bay. Xavier Legette, another high draft pick. A young player.
He likes to ride horses.
Kind of slow and getting his career going. But again, where you are helps dictate how your career gets off and running. So they have some threats. Rico Dowdle, as I mentioned, became a 2-week sensation, rushing for over 200 yards in back-to-back weeks.
Right.
Chuba Hubbard is back.
Yeah.
There are some decent pieces on offense
names,
here. I don't know who's going to play quarterback. Overall, this is not a terribly good team, but they have found a way to become 4-4.
Right.
So to your point, look, get a win, move on to the next game.
That's it.
But don't let this team hang out too long. You got the Eagles coming up on Monday Night Football after Carolina, so you cannot look ahead of any opponent.
You can't, Greg.
Don't get stuck in that world.
Yeah. You can't do it. And on the way to the Super Bowl, these are some of the things that you got to cross off your list. Games like the Carolina Panthers, because they could be very dangerous games for you because of the Pittsburgh game and because of the Philadelphia game. You just gotta take care of business, and you can't take the foot off the pedal, so to speak. The second half needs to carry over into the first quarter against the Carolina Panthers. It just has to. That
game coming up, noon kickoff from Lambeau Field on Sunday afternoon. Another Sunday afternoon kick here for the Packers. 1-1 here are the Green Bay Packers, still in first place in the NFC North Division. Carolina Panthers, dare we say, fighting for a playoff berth here at the halfway point of the regular season. We are at roughly the halfway point of the regular season. We'll take a walk around the league. We'll look at some division leaders. Are they pretenders or contenders? What are we to believe is true here at the roughly halfway point of the NFL season? We wrap up Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday after this.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
Who benefits the most from Micah Parsons being on the field?
Secondary. Keyshawn Nix.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
If you're a quarterback, you've got to get the football out of your hands before you really want to do it. I mean, everybody's getting their wealth with this, but to me, I think it's really the guys in the secondary.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after. An in-depth recap of every Bucs game.
In 6 minutes. No more?
No less. Bucs in 6 on the Bucs Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucs in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Miles Turner. And catch the comments post-game about what happened on the court. Bucs in 6 on the Bucs Plus Audio Network. Find it now on Bucs.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. So you filed your return and owe the IRS money you can't pay, or you haven't filed a return for years because you are afraid you will owe the IRS. Whether it is income taxes, payroll taxes, or sales tax, we can help. Often we can file back tax returns and get your refund. We negotiate payment plans with the IRS or settle with the IRS for sometimes pennies on the dollar. We get the interest and penalties reduced, which are many times greater than the original tax owed because so much time has passed. Stop the sleepless nights and worrying they will wipe out your bank account and garnish your wages. Your situation will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. The first meeting is free. Call now, 414-325-2040 or visit neogroup.net. You earned it. We help you keep it. That's 414-325-2040 or nealgroup.net.
We all have someone we know or love that has been affected by some form of cancer.
No matter how well you love and support them and try to be there for them, you can never really know what a person is feeling after hearing the words, "You have breast cancer."
Only another person that has been through this experience can really understand what it feels like.
ABCD, After Breast Cancer Diagnosis, is a Milwaukee-based organization known around the world.
When someone calls ABCD, they are matched with a mentor who is a breast cancer survivor of similar age and has the same type of breast cancer who can provide hope when people need it the most.
Kessler's is excited to announce that we've designed 3 new Hope pendants to honor breast cancer patients, survivors, thrivers, and caregivers.
100% of the net proceeds, along with an additional donation from Kessler's, will support ABCD when you purchase the symbol of hope.
You can find a link with more information about ABCD, along with all 3 modern designs starting at just $75 in sterling silver and $598 in gold, online at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
Why settle for just a job when you can have a career in the exciting automobile industry? The Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee new car dealer members have service technicians, sales, administrative, and management positions available now. The first word in career is car, and one of the best places to find a great career opportunity is at an Adam member new car dealer.
For current great paying job opportunities, visit adam.com/jobs. That's ADAMM.com/jobs.
We're back with Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
What we want to be is, the most explosive offense in the NFL. So I think just trying to find ways to be as consistent as possible because we know what type of offense we're capable of being. It just comes down to making plays. And like I said, the first half, it wasn't up to our standard. Then you look at the flip side, and second half, we were able to do that.
Wrapping up another edition of Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday from the beautiful Potawatomi Sportsbook. If you've not checked it out yet, you must. It's a great place to watch sports. Any game you can think of is on right now. Here, you've got NBA games on, this 2,000 square foot video wall, World Series Game 3, which we will join in progress at the conclusion of this show. You've got Monday Night Football on. It's a great night to be at the Sportsbook. I've noticed that. Monday nights seem to be popping here during the NFL season.
Oh, NFL's
doing great.
NFL's king, Greg. You never doubted that.
So we are at roughly the halfway point of the regular season here. If the playoffs started today, here are your division leaders. These teams would be in.
What?
The Patriots, Colts, Broncos, and Steelers, division leaders in the AFC. NFC division leaders include the Packers, Buccaneers, Eagles, and Seahawks. Let's start with the AFC teams. Who are the most believable teams in that group? Patriots, Colts, Broncos, and Steelers.
Not the Steelers. But all of the teams you just named, for real. Everybody thought that the Colts are going to come back to the pack, but they're not. They got the magic. They got the mojo. Jonathan Taylor, MVP candidate, unless he gets hurt. I don't want to put mojo on my Wisconsin guy, but unless he gets hurt, he's for real. I think the Patriots are for real with Drake May. They're playing some really good football. I don't think what Pittsburgh is doing is sustainable. They just don't have enough offensively. And did they look old to you or what?
Well, they did. And it's not just that they have a 41-year-old quarterback.
No, not the quarterback.
They looked old on defense.
Yes.
It really is what I know.
I mean,
they just look
T.J.
slow.
Watt is a shell of himself right now.
It's in the corners they spent a lot of money on are
Cam Hayward is like 45.
Yes.
I mean they got a lot of guys. I mean, big play Slay. I don't even know if you can. I wouldn't call myself big play Slay if I'm 50 anymore. That's got to go away.
It's Mayday Slay now. That's what they call it.
Right.
Help. I need help.
And who's the other big corner?
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey. I mean, at times he could do stuff, but in order to be good in this league, you got to be much more consistent, and your body just can't do that for 17 games.
So you don't believe in the Steelers. You are buying the Denver Broncos?
Yeah, I don't like them.
Packers are going to see them later.
Yeah, I don't like, what's their head coach name?
Well, they have Sean Payton as their head
I don't
coach.
like Sean Payton.
Not a lot of people fans of him.
They're good.
I do like Bo Nix. He's a fun
I like Bo
quarterback to
Nix
watch.
too.
He's a gamer.
Yeah.
You believe in the Patriots. The Colts are interesting now because Daniel Jones has found a new home in Indianapolis, and it's working. They've got the best young player at tight end, and Tyler Warren. Outstanding. I thought he was the best football player in the draft coming out.
Agreed.
Best pure football player.
Agreed.
Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman. They got size. They got speed. They got a really good offensive line, which probably doesn't get talked about enough. That is a believable 7-1 team.
No doubt.
NFC, Packers, Buccaneers, Eagles, and Seahawks. Most believable teams in that group.
All those teams have flaws. Every last one of them. Packers are so inconsistent. And real talk, Packer fans, you don't know what you're going to get from quarter to quarter, from game to game. Let's just keep it quarter. You just don't know. Eagles, A.J. Brown, what's his deal? They can't run the football with Saquon. But they've only lost 2 games. So, I mean, they're there. Those teams, Seattle, are you really buying Seattle? I look at who they played, not a whole lot. Tampa Bay, I just don't think they have it. I like Baker Mayfield, but I don't think Baker Mayfield can get you to
Well, if they have all their horses, that becomes a more interesting discussion. Yeah. They've been playing without a lot of talent.
Well, yeah.
In the last several weeks.
2 weeks.
They've missed and Baker was kind of beat up, I think, this past weekend. Yeah. But I think if you sleep on the Rams, you're mistaken.
I'm sleeping on the Rams.
I am not sleeping on the Rams.
I'm sleeping on the Rams.
That team's pretty good.
And every time I sleep on them, they wake me up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's something there, I think, with the Rams.
No, I would agree. McVay is a really good coach. The 49ers, did you mention the 49ers at all? I don't know what the hell they're doing there, but they're winning games.
Yeah, they seem to lose a stud every week, and then they still find a way to win a game or two, right? Yeah. George Kittle comes back. They didn't really miss him, even though they had no wide receivers
But is that
healthy.
sustainable is what you're asking?
Well, it really, Christian McCaffrey staying healthy is probably the biggest thing there.
To me, right now, it's 3 teams. Packers, Lions, Eagles.
Okay.
Take your pick.
Yeah, very interesting. We will see how things shape up over the next several weeks. So the Packers have a noon game on Sunday afternoon at Lambeau Field, and then it's a date with the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football, so we will not have a show that Monday night. We'll be back on Tuesday
we'll be in Green Bay.
Of that particular week, and we'll see if the Packers can build on their division lead right now. 5-1-1, technically atop the division standings here with fewer losses than the Detroit Lions, same amount of wins. That tie is, well, I guess, benefiting the Packers right now.
Is it a half a game?
Sort of.
So I don't know how
it gets screwy because tiebreakers. It's a weird deal. I'm not really there yet.
Yeah,
I won't be probably till late December, but that's okay. Out of time here at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Thanks to the fine folks here at Potawatomi for hosting us each and every week. Always a great time to greet you. Would love to see you here on occasion at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Thanks to Gary Ellerson as well for being a part of this show. Chris Larson producing the program. We do have World Series baseball coming up here. Joining in progress from Los Angeles. Been a good start to this series so far with both teams winning one game in Toronto. Games 3, 4, and 5 now in Los Angeles, where the Dodgers have a 1-0 lead. Looks like they're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So we'll be joining you bottom of the 3rd inning in Los Angeles with the Dodgers leading the Toronto Blue Jays 1-0. Enjoy the rest of your night and World Series baseball right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
Now's the time to plan your total experience getaway to the